Hey guys. We get right into the videos with KC, the Detransitioner, in just a second. Alright, let's get started with the air horn. I'm going to bring up Casey, detransitioning. Just watched Casey over on Duck Taco only. I think I'm streaming to both channels right now, Media Odyssey and Duck Taco. So I am JJ, and we are watching detransitioning videos. This is someone who I just watched a video from 1 month ago, and it seems like they started because this video we're going to watch first is from 8 months ago. My mouth sounds and feels dry. I'm going to drink that. I feel better. Okay, I'm going to make this full screen. Let me make sure I'm full screen on the YouTube. Nope. Yep, there we go. That's what I want. Okay, and then we go right there. All right, perfect. So this is KC from KC's channel, and the title of the video is I'm Detransitioning. Now, this is a 12-minute video. I don't know how much of this video I'm going to watch. I'm going to go to like the most replayed area here. Talking about her voice. I think this is some female. Obviously, had a double mastectomy, and realized they made a mistake. So let's start. This is 8 months ago.
First video, I guess, but it's kind of just me talking in my car.
Okay.
Because this is the only place I really have to
Very
film right
brave
now.
person. From you'll see the next video. Very brave.
So I
Much
thought
love
I
to
would just
Casey.
do it on here and say that I've made the decision to attempt to detransition.
All right.
I have no idea how it's going to pan out. I have no idea what that's going to look like, but I'm going to try. And for the longest time, I've been holding myself back from trying because I thought I was too far gone, as the infamous video said. But comments from people have kind of made me think otherwise. It didn't help that there were people thinking I was a biological man and that this was all a ruse. It's interesting, that was like the TRA perspective, and then there were people on like the gender critical side that were like, no, we can still tell, and you could still pass as a woman, you still look like a woman. And at first it was offensive, but
I think it's
then I
true
was
though.
like, hold
With
on,
the
if a
proper
bunch
work
of people are
to
saying this,
kind
and
of
I've
fix
gotten
it a little
multiple
bit,
DMs about this, then
the voice might not come
does
back.
that mean other people have been able to tell? And how many people have I interacted with that I've been able to tell?
Okay, so Casey's saying here that as a male, she pretty much thought everyone thought she was a boy or a male. And now and of course finding out that's not exactly true. People just didn't really say anything or whatever the case may be. Okay. This story's better in the more recent. I haven't watched all this, of course. I'm gonna go to this part right here though.
And just kind of throwing their hands up and saying, well, we don't know what's wrong, it's not our problem, to I've had 2 doctors now in primary care attempt to make med switches or med changes on the same medication that I've been stable on that have resulted in me nearly relapsing and ending up in the hospital. Um, so,
That's messed up. I
and
don't agree with that.
additionally, I am being urged by the gender clinic that I go to. Well, it's an LGBT health clinic, but it's where I get my hormones.
It's a
That in the
gender
next 1 to 2
clinic.
years, if I keep taking testosterone, I'm going to have to get a hysterectomy because of risk of cancer.
Well,
Um,
let's talk about how the last detransitioner I watched on my Duck Taco channel specifically, who from the age, the person who was on MTV when they were 16 years old, now 23, one of her ovaries died and they needed to get a hysterectomy emergency because her ovary, the hormones and whatever was being given, the hormones, yeah, she was turning into a male, giving her hormones, testosterone, blah blah blah, um, caused the ovaries to die, and had to have this emergency surgery. It was a, really really sad, really sad story. I will get into that one. Doing it now that I figured out how to do a double stream from both channels. I'll do double stream on that. But right now we're going to focus on KC. We'll hear a little more from this video and then get to KC's
which now my
video that I want to
conspiracy
show you.
theory brain is thinking, was that because they want me dependent on testosterone? Is that so they don't want me to go back? Um, I don't know. My last shot was Friday, 100 milligrams, and I was debating on like just tempering or not tempering, tapering down. But
No.
I'm on some of the Discord forums. I'm not on Reddit because that place is a cesspool. No one knows it's me on there. And I've asked about it, and they've said, frankly, it's going to be a struggle bus. Either way, whether you taper on or off, and you're just prolonging the process
By tapering, yeah.
by tapering down. Sorry, I don't know what's
Thank
going
God
on.
someone out there is giving the right advice to some of these
So
people
I'm
that are
just
confused,
going to
right?
stop and see how I feel.
All right.
As
So,
for my voice,
as for Casey, that was 8 months ago. Now, I just watched over on Duck Taco. Of course, leave a like for every creator you watch a video of. It's the right thing to do, even if you don't like the video. Um, all right, so 7 months in detransition. This is the video that I watched just a second ago on Duck Taco alone.
hi. Last time I
Wait,
filmed a
let me
video
pause
in my
this.
car.
I think I haven't even looked, but I think this is a, he. She did the for the video we just watched, and then this is like the next one. So, I mean, I guess that's confirmed in the beginning of the uh, of the video. So, all right, here's Casey about a month ago now. So this is 7 months after the video we just watched. Very brave. This is a very important video to watch.
Hi. Last time I filmed a video in my car like this, I came on and talked about how I felt like I was too far gone. I didn't say that my life was over, but I thought that because of medical transition, that I had sentenced myself to living life as a pseudo mediocre man, and that that was just the fate that I had. Talking about the long-term effects of testosterone. Now, an
Hmm.
update since then. At the time, in early October, I was still on testosterone, and in late October, I decided to stop cold turkey. And so it's been a little over 7 months since then. And I've noticed some changes. I've noticed behavioral changes in terms of how I process things, how I process emotions, crying, all of that stuff. Just kind of stereotypical, but it's true. Testosterone does have an impact on my brain and how I process things. Physical changes as well, body fat redistribution, hormone levels, and all that stuff. But largely speaking, most of the changes are permanent, and that's fine. I've come to a point of acceptance with the current circumstances. My voice is this way, it's going to stay this way. My hairline, obviously, I'm growing my hair out. I kept buzzing it until about January ish. And then I was like, okay, we're going to try and grow it out and see what happens, and I'm trying some naturopathic stuff. But my hairline is still receded. It's not coming back. Hopefully, it's better, especially as it grows longer. But a lot of the changes are permanent, and also, I had a double mastectomy. I had a double mastectomy, and I'm obviously my breasts are not going to grow back. That's just not going to happen. Um, I had laser on my face, but I still have permanent body hair growth. I still have permanent hair loss, permanent voice deepening, permanent changes everywhere. And I thought that it was a death sentence for me, and I didn't want to be here after I figured out what I did to myself and what the medical establishment allowed me to do. Um, and I struggled for months. I really did. So why am I logging on now? On a new account where I didn't want to bring too much attention to myself. Um, People have found it helpful when I speak. I don't know why. I guess they just like what I have to say, or maybe my perspective. But I think the biggest thing that I want to say is that based on where I was at previously versus where I'm at now, when I did
I
that
just wanted to
video
let
about the
Casey go and just say what
and now
she
several
was
months later,
saying.
I don't know what happened sometime in late April. I think a switch flipped for me because I cried for months. I was grieving for months. I was
Okay.
mad. I was angry. I didn't want to be here. And I kept trying to hang on because I knew it wasn't an option
This
to
is
kill
important.
myself. I mean, it is an option, but it wasn't
Right. Let me
realistically
go
an
back there.
on because I knew it wasn't an option to kill myself. I mean, it is an option, but it wasn't realistically an option. I have a purpose. Just don't know what it is yet.
Now
I know I don't want to.
the what I see in this video, um, and from many other videos, and not just you, Casey. If you do see this by any chance, it's not you specifically. I've seen many videos, and it seems as if the rate of suicide among LGBT in general is pretty high, right? And then they if you cut it into only people who are trans, and then you go to trans people who have had now you got to take out all the men who just are basically just um cross dressers, is what the word I would use. And you got to take those out, and the people who have had surgery and taken hormones or estrogen, whatever they've done, those people. Now it seems as if maybe the, the rate the rate's so high because from the stories that I hear, specifically this one as well, it's the point where they get to that when they get to that point, it's when they realize what they've done to themselves and that they can't turn back. That I want to know the rate of people who are in that situation that you know end their lives.
I don't want to live, but I have
If anyone watches this, let me know what you think about what I just said down in the comments, please.
to keep going. There's something flipped in late April for me. I don't know what it was. Um, and now I do want to keep going, and I'm coping with the changes, and I'm being perceived ambiguously in society because I'm a conglomeration of secondary sex characteristics, some of which are natural, and some of which are artificially induced. But
Hmm.
I'm coping. Is it easy? No, it's
Can I
not.
do it like
But
this? There
I'm
we
able
go.
to move forward, and I am moving forward, and I've accepted that this is just the reality of things. But it also doesn't have to sentence me to a certain way of living forever. I can still do something great with my
Oh, I
life, and
see
I
what
can
just
still move
happened
on.
there.
And I don't have to let these changes dictate how I live my
See if
life
that
forever.
happens again.
And I think I'm beginning to heal, which is not something that I thought even a couple months ago I could say. So
That's great to hear.
yes, what I'm trying to say is mainly for people who think that they trans or that they regret things or that they're too far gone and they just can't go back. You're never too far gone to return to who you are.
Let's hear that again.
Or that they say is mainly for people who think that they are trans or that they regret things or that they're too far gone and they just can't go back. You're never too far gone to return to who you are. And that might look different for anybody. Um, but it's not bad to question things.
I
It's not
messed up.
bad to look at why you decided to transition in the first place. and it's never too late to take a step back from things. And don't let anybody dictate that timeline for you. You've got to do it on your own time.
Please listen to the
But I
Casey.
guess
To
the
Casey
whole
here.
point of this is that I want to tell anybody that is in the throes of regret, in the throes of grief, is questioning where they're at with things,
Very important.
that it does get better. I don't think this shouldn't have happened. I don't want this to keep happening to other kids and vulnerable young adults such as myself. But my life is not over because of it, and I think we're a lot more resilient than we realize. So, yeah, that's my update. I'm here, and I stopped talking for a bit, but I think I'm gonna start talking, and I hope that this helps somebody, at the very least. That we can grow, we can move on from this. So that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Casey. Oh my God, that message right there from Casey, who I subscribe to. I'm gonna look right now at see what other videos. Yeah, I'm detransitioning. 7 months in, and then there's another video. It seems about 15 minutes long from 3 weeks ago. We're in need of a paradigm shift. You guys aren't seeing what I'm looking at. There you go. Um, I don't know if you want to see that. Let's see. Good intro, Casey. Good
Thank you.
intro.
Hi. I don't know how to open these videos. I'm in a park somewhere
That was
outside
good. That was good.
because I like nature and it's better than my car. It's a little bit less stuffy than my car, and you
See, you
can hear
can
the
still
birds
have
and the
your
wind. And
original
I don't
sense of
like
humor.
being official about things. I like being authentic. So we're in a park. So what I wanted to talk about briefly
The
is
voice has gotten a
the
little more
need
feminine over
for
time.
a tone shift in talking about medical transition, detransition, medicalization, LGBT issues. And I say LGBT issues because unfortunately, transition, detransition is kind of involved with that inherently. I know there's people that say, oh, LGB is separate from the TQ, and it is in some regards, but they are um, unfortunately terminally linked at this point, and also a lot of trans people and
Unfortunately, you
trans
see that
people
word
are
there by
LGBT.
Casey
So the
herself?
overlap is notable enough that I
I
don't think they
like
can be
that.
unlinked
Casey's got a great
as
attitude.
much as people would like them to be. But the biggest thing I'm noticing is that I and others that I have spoken to, we really don't like the direction that the current discourse is going and the tone that is being used. And I'm going to be using terms that I'm sure a lot of my audience are going to have a problem with when I say right wingers and conservatives and evangelicals. All of those people and the tone and the direction that they're
Let
taking
me
this
hear that again.
is going and the tone that is being used. And I'm going to be using terms that I'm sure a lot of my audience are going to have a problem with when I say right wingers and conservatives and evangelicals. All of those people and the tone and the direction that they're taking with how they speak about medical transition and who they're talking about and the reasons why people are transitioning.
No, I'm not sure where this is going, but consider me, okay? Look how I look at me. I would consider myself in their minds. They would probably consider me almost a radical right winger, right? Um, Supporter of President Donald Trump, big time supporter of President Donald Trump. Um, you know, so that might have something to do with me. But look where I am right now, listening, agreeing with many things that Casey is saying, subscribe to the channel, leaving likes on the channel. No hate from me. No hate. This is live. I didn't even expect to watch this. I've never seen this. So just keep that in mind. I don't know where this is going here with the right
I
winger
think are
stuff.
problematic, not just because
Let me rewind that one part.
transition and who they're talking about and the reasons why people are transitioning, I think are problematic, not just because they're unhelpful, but they don't get to what the root issue of the problem is,
Who
right?
doesn't?
So, just blaming people like, transitioning kids on gender ideology. Gender ideology is capturing your kids, it's capturing this,
It is,
like one
Casey.
catch all term.
And if you don't
I
agree with that, and I'm
would
sorry, but
attempt
I
to,
love you, but if you don't agree with that, I would love to have you or come on your channel even and debate that with you and bring proof to your face that that is the reality. Okay. Um, I'm fully supportive of what you're going through and what you're doing. Uh, I think you're still under the guise of believing these outrageous things, as I showed you right before that. I am the normal, just everyone. Most of the people that that you think are like extremist people are just like me, who are just listening, having regular discourse, and sharing reality and the proof of the truth about what's going on. And we want to protect the children. That's all. We don't have a problem with LGBT, whatever that comes after that. We don't care about that. Actually, we prefer that you guys keep it private. Like it's not even something anyone wants to hear about, really. And it's we don't. No one shares. I don't go walking around talking about what goes on with me and my wife. In our bedroom, like everywhere I go, and make videos about it. So you understand the problem is that it is being pushed on children, and that's the problem where everyone's coming from. No one's coming from a problem with someone who's gay or lesbian or whatever. It's the problem where now we have kids. I have kids, right, in school where these things are happening. And I could show you a video of someone from my school district in a private meeting. Thank God someone was undercover recording it, talking about how to push this trans ideology. And they use the words on the children in the elementary school and the middle school that my kids are in. So, Casey, if you see this, please reach out. Let's discuss this. I'd love to discuss it. That would be something wonderful that I would love to do. So, I would appreciate if you'd have an open mind. Let's watch the rest of this.
at forcing the blame onto another thing or another group of some sort, because gender ideology gets linked to trans people and trans rights activists, who are people that, advocate for trans rights and medical transition for adults or youth, self ID, etc., etc. But in reality, and this is something that I've realized, even for the Gen Z cohort of medical
Hey
transitioners,
guys, by the way, my where my desk is, I can see out the front of my house. And as I was just talking, what I just said when the video wasn't playing, I kind of lost where I was talking because someone pulled up and I wasn't sure who it was in front of my house, and it was kind of something like weird was going on in the front of my house. So, I kind of lost track of where I was going. That in that last thing I said, so just to clear that up, but it's just a delivery. But at first, it looked a little shady. I just watch out. I got a family in the house. All right, let's listen to Casey.
and detransitioners, which I am part of, it's not just something you can blame on like this, like, the gender cult or gender ideology. I still think that there are pervasive forces outside of gender, outside of LGBT, that are contributing to people seeking out transition. Now,
There
this is
is.
another thing that I don't like when
That's
people
true.
tell me and other people like me, is that, it wasn't your fault, and, they did this to you. This was done to you. And while I understand that, that mitigates the fact that the desire to transition was there and the desire to escape was there. I want to make this very
Yes,
clear. There are
there's a
two
desire
main reasons to
there's
transition.
a desire to escape for everyone, and people use drugs to escape. Blah 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 on and on and on. But you're at an age, Casey, where you're not I'm probably 15 years older than you. Where the people that in my age group there isn't 20% of us that are trans because it wasn't in the schools and being pushed on any of the people. So we weren't transitioning in our head because it wasn't pushed on us. If people, and you know what, the ones who did transition, because there were people that did in those times, those very tiny, small, minute amount of people that happened to. But now it's 20% of every school. You know what I mean? You're telling me that huge that pop in the last 5 years is coming from just everyone's mind just randomly synchronizing like a woman's period? No, that's not true. No. And I agree with them. Your videos are very good for people who are going through what you're going through, but you cannot characterize what people with children are worried about. I'm sure you don't have children. No offense, but when you have a child, your sense of protection of that child goes beyond whatever other people want you to, they want respect from you or whatever. They don't ever respect you, but they want all this respect and all this stuff. And I'm not talking about you, Casey, I'm talking about in general. They want all this respect, and you must, affirm us and support us. They don't respect me, for sure, and anything I would like them to agree with or support me for. They won't do that. That would be a problem. I would get spit on for talking about that, and that's the facts. Okay, because it's happened to me. I go on the streets. I had other channels where I've done these things. My channels get shut down. Okay, they get suppressed because of this thing. Okay, so they try to hide it when people try to talk the truth about this stuff. So when you're saying that, because it's, yeah, at your age, you've been indoctrinated and it's still in your head. It's called cultural Marxism. You need to talk to people outside of your bubble to understand this. So please talk to me, because I'm a very reasonable person and I'm very sympathetic to what you're going through.
Transition, and it was because of child sexual abuse that made me not want to be female, and homophobia. And this is
Mm,
something that I'm realizing recently, since homophobia growing up. As soon as I hit puberty, as soon as I became gender nonconforming, it absolutely
so it's,
shaped how I moved through the world. It shaped how my peers viewed me, how adults viewed me.
so to
It
become more homosexual would make that easier for
it
you, Casey?
absolutely influenced how people
Come on.
perceive me, and what I didn't realize it was homophobia at the time, not until very recently.
Yeah, because
It
someone just
did make me feel
indoctrinated it into your
insecure.
head that that's
I
what it
wasn't
was,
being
because
good enough.
it most likely wasn't. And when people have a memory from a long time ago, it tends to change over time, that memory, like even from a week from when it happened, let alone years. So now you're hearing all these things in your head, you're getting all these ideas. Now you're a part of a group of people who have this one specific ideology. It has to be tunnel vision on that ideology. And of course, that's what you're going to think, but that's not the truth. Come into the world with other people. Walk down the street right here. Not one person's going to be homophobic or anything. No one's going to say a word to you. Even if every neighbor of mine was outside doing their lawn and you walk down the street, no one would even say anything other than hello. And you know that. You know that. Where you find homophobia and where everyone else finds homophobia, and when I see it get into the media, it's always false. It's always a fake story. It always has to be manufactured for proof, because the rate of what you people believe is homophobia is just people talking about reality. I'm homophobic because I don't want sexual books in the library in the school that my 7-year-old is in, where they're showing BJs and orals, and all this, and gay between gay people, especially, and it doesn't matter if it's gay or not. It's porn in the school, and when people show it on in the community meetings, they get shut down because they're showing pornography, but it's allowed to be in the kids' school. You understand what I'm saying? So you grew up in this environment, and your brain is thinking these things, but it's not true. But this is not true. this is hard. It's hard to say this because you're going through something that is I'm sympathetic to, like I said, and I'm supporting you, and I'm glad that you realized that you made a mistake. But some of these things are not true. You have to please get out of the bubble and listen to other people. Please just hear the words I'm saying. If you don't want to talk to me directly, please just heed the words I'm saying, because of course I'm not yelling at you. I'm getting emotional here because this is hard to see. I know you are better than this. You can you're a great person. I love the beginning of this video made me laugh. You're funny. This is, you know what I mean? You got so many good attributes. You just got to get out of the bubble, man, or woman. I'm sorry. It's hard for me.
Woman because I wasn't towing the line. And I was
You have to
thinking
toe
at
the
the
line
time
for your own people, and if
no,
you don't
no,
stray from that, what happens? You get yourself get attacked by them, right? Yeah, that's what happens.
myself I wanted to be male or wanted to be a boy for
But we would
months
accept
leading
you, no
up to
problem.
finding trans. So it wasn't like I just found trans and I was like, I wanted to feel like I belonged somewhere and then I found it online and I was hooked.
Mm,
I was already saying that I wanted to be a boy prior to that without even knowing what trans was,
yeah,
without
people
knowing much
wanted to
about
be an alien and a
anything.
dinosaur
I knew
too.
what a sexuality was. I knew that I was gay, but I didn't know much about what that looked like, and I knew that everybody
This is
around me thought it
sad.
was wrong. Even within my generation, I can pinpoint, the things that were happening outside of gender ideology that led me to transition, right?
Okay.
I think that's very important.
Go
I
ahead
think
and tell us what
everybody
those
has
are.
those. It's not just, oh, I saw it on TikTok or Reddit or
You
Tumblr
did, you
and it
did, you did.
converted me. I'm able to, look outside of that.
And you
And it's
admitted that
not
in the
just
other
the
video.
gender ideology, it's the trans cult, it's the schools, it's
It is,
somebody
it is,
else's
it
fault.
is.
I feel like the people who are saying that, they're not willing to acknowledge or look at or hear in order for something like this,
See,
for
that's
butterflies
not
to
true. And you
manifest in
edited
the
what you
real
were
world.
saying there, by the way. I would love to hear what you were really just said, because that's not true. I'm hearing everything that you're saying. I'm listening to you. I'm disagreeing on some things. I understand that you thought maybe you were a boy when you were younger. That's what we called tomboys when I was younger. And they dressed like boys, they acted like boys, they grew up and became women. They were not pushed into getting hormones, and they didn't have parents who were radicalized and doing this to them when they were 8 years old. What happened to Jazz Jennings is a horrific tragedy. What's going on with Jazz Jennings, disgusting, disgusting. And that's a Munchausen, that's a mother. And also Desmond is amazing. Drag kids, that's a parents. There's no way that kid was drugged on live on YouTube. Kid was drugged by a person who was just got out of prison for murdering another gay man and chopping him up in his tub. And then they put a child on with this guy. The painting behind him is about roofies, and the kid can hardly speak. His eyes are going in and out, with two predators, two sex offenders registered. One of them is a murderer, and he's sitting in between them, dressed like a drag kid. Now, if you don't see a problem with that, then you have some moral problems. There's a study that they did on the brains of people who, and they used left wing and right wing, which I don't really believe in that two-party bullshit. I just believe in reality, truth, lies, and you know what I mean. So, but they did a study where people in who like me, they showed different things. They showed like horrible scenes, like maybe murder, or really graphic, gross stuff, to pornography, maybe illegal pornography. I'm not sure exactly, but people of my they realized that their brain receptors to people like me, we were disgusted by a lot of these things. We were like, wow, this is wrong, this is gross. And then the people who were like, the radical left people, it didn't bother them. All these disgusting acts that were happening didn't affect their brain at all. And that showed when I saw that's a real study, by the way. So if you want for more information on that, ask me. I'll look it up if you don't want to look yourself, and I'll tell you what it is. because I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. There's also the Tomeo TOMEO study, which showed, which is totally off subject of this, but showed how most predators, adult predators, were at a young age molested by a homosexual predator. And that's the whole, that keeps going. That circle is just going on and on and on. They found such a high rate of these people are in the, have the same mindset. They're in this. They're. It's very interesting. But that's not what this video is about. Let's go back to KC.
In order for us to reach this point, a society has to be awfully sick. And I don't think it's just, the liberals that have taken control of everything and there's evil liberals. No, I think that conservatism and evangelical Christianity and homophobia and the desire to fix and medicalize the weirdos of society has contributed and laid the groundwork for medicalization.
You're a little outrageous there, buddy.
To become a thing. I think we need.
You're the ones who are fixing things with medical shit. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about now.
Evolved over time.
You're starting to turn on me.
Gender zeitgeist happened, right? Because I think that certainly is a thing, maybe in later years, but it's not the case for everybody.
You don't think it's liberals pushing this shit on children?
More societal factors got us.
Please. I commented under one of my channels under your video. Please come talk to me in a live debate, one-on-one. No people with you, no people with me. We'll do it live. We'll discuss this. You bring facts, and I'll give you a week to pull up whatever you need to bring with you. I'm ready at any time. I'll do it right now. I know you'll need time.
And I understand that, and I empathize.
Well, you empathize with who?
With that.
Who do you empathize with?
With conservatives. They almost exclusively work with conservatives and right-wing commentators and journalists because they're the only people that are willing to platform this issue right now. Which has why I have been really, really hesitant to work with conservatives. I know that a lot of public detransitioners work with conservatives. They almost exclusively work with conservatives and right-wing commentators and journalists because they're the only people that are willing to platform this issue right now.
Oh, isn't that funny? Isn't it ironic, Casey, that right-wing or whatever you want to call people like me are the only ones who will platform the issue? Don't you see that as a good thing? We want every issue to be platformed. We aren't suppressing anything from people. The side that you're on, I guess, because you're just attacking me right now, my people, right? I guess you would say my people. And you're saying that the people on your side aren't, I mean, please talk to me. Let's do this. I'll give you 2 weeks to find all the information you want. 2 weeks, whatever you want. You could tie me up in the bed right there for 2 weeks. I don't need to do anything. I could sit right here right now and do it. I have all the information I need right here to prove to you that what you're saying is incorrect. And yes, right-wing commentators and everything are the ones platforming this because it's a big issue and it should be platformed by everyone. But the people that you support will not even platform you. Don't you see a problem with that?
The pushback that, left-leaning liberals, progressives, etc., are going to get if they speak about this issue. And I understand that, and I empathize with that. Mm-hmm. But not only is that something I'm not willing to do because of who I am, and something I implore people who are in a similar position as me, whether they be lesbian, gay, bisexual, something that I implore they don't do either unless they are understanding of the risks and the cost it's going to have on them personally and reputationally.
Are you kidding?
I also am beginning to think that it's not necessary. I've been talking to people.
Okay, listen. Now you're going to go against, you don't want anyone to talk. All right, I'm not even going to hear this bull from you right now. Listen. whenever these people, whoever you're talking about, go on and talk to the other people, the commentators, whoever they are, um, okay, they get more support. The people like me come and support them. What are you talking about? I'm in the thick of it, my dude, my woman, whatever you want to be called. I'm in the thick of it. Okay, everyone around me thinks exactly what I'm saying. We support you. We talk to you because we want to platform your problems, the issue at hand, because it does affect children. It obviously affected you when you were underage and a child. And we want to get to the bottom of why and what and why this is all of a sudden in the last just few years, and you know this has all popped up, and hasn't been such a big issue until now when all these things have been pushed on children, okay? And they started mainstreaming that. They will platform children in drag, but they won't platform you talking about what you want to talk about, right? You know, and if you don't see a problem with that, I mean, that's a problem that you have to worry to think about yourself. But please, Casey, if you see this, reach out to me. You can um, read one of my about sections and get my email, or just comment and under the video, uh, and and then I'll give you my email address there. It's you could email me at the what is it? I'll give you 88 the no, not 88. 8. I don't even remember the name of my email address. JJX63. Whatever. It's in my bio somewhere. You know. It's got something to do with my the email. It's like my hockey name. I forgot what it's. I forgot. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. KC, if you see this, reach out to me, Doug Taco, Media Odyssey, whichever channel, anywhere you want. And yeah, thanks for watching.